Woke up one morning and all of a sudden my vision was changed. It was just kind of grainy, it was staticky. I would look up at anywhere there was light really and just see speckles all across my vision. So we went to a neurologist and they did like an MRI of my brain. The neurologist there freaked out a little bit when he first started the MRI because there was some demyelination, which is basically the precursor to multiple sclerosis, which is a neurodegenerative autoimmune disease. The better MRI came back and they saw the same thing that the other neurologists had seen, but they said that it wasn't anything to worry about at this point. Go home and in about a year or so they would want to check again to see if there was any progression. And since then, there's just been no answers. Life is a lot shakier than maybe I once realized growing up in a fairly sheltered and joyful home.
Now, life is inconsistent, except for in one thing: suffering. Right? We all have experienced it, and we all will continue to experience it until we die. I cope with suffering or circumstances that aren't going my way by fantasizing. I dream up futures where my current state is non-existent, or I romanticize past seasons of life and wish those people in that community or whatever joy I was experiencing in that time could stay like that for the rest of my life and just wish I was in that period of life. Here, let me give you an example. But first you have to hit the like button. Just smash it. Whatever platform you're on, click on the link onto YouTube and hit the like button on YouTube. So now that I pulled you out of the mood, I'll try to just shut up. As a kid, all you want to do is grow up. And now I am grown up. Now I just want to go back. Whatever season of life I am in, I have a tendency to look at the season right before it as the best. But when I'm in that season, I'm looking back at the season before that, and the season in which I'm currently living in is never good enough, and I'm never content in it.
Like anxiety, I am hopeful for the future, but I have a lot of apprehension. So actually, it's good for me to deliberately focus my mind on the present, and there's so much joy and beauty to be found in the present. And I think we can miss out because it goes by like this.
She is right. But what do you do when beauty is so hard to find?
So it just kind of created this mind rut of just dwelling on this aspect of my life that I didn't know why it was. I didn't know why it wasn't healing, and being kind of on the precipice of tumbling into chronic anxiety, and that kind of just set it off.
Jacob has been heavily influenced by this book by Viktor Frankl called A Man's Search for Meaning. It's about a psychologist who spends 3 years in Auschwitz and Dachau during World War II as a prisoner. Frankl chronicles his experiences and how he was able to find meaning in the most horrible of situations and therefore derive a reason to continue living.
Regarding our provisional existence as unreal was in itself an important factor in causing the prisoners to lose their hold on life. Everything in a way became pointless. Such people forgot that often it is just such exceptionally difficult external situations which gives man the opportunity to grow spiritually beyond himself. Instead of taking the camp's difficulties as a test of their inner strength, they did not take their life seriously and despised it as something of no consequence. They preferred to close their eyes and to live in the past. Life for such people became meaningless. So in the concentration camp, the people who thrived were the people who looked at it and didn't sit and contemplate on the past and say, why do I have to be here? Things were so well. Why can't it be this way or that way? Or why me? It was people who said, okay, this is my lot in life. Right. And I am built for this and I can do this. I'm not asking what is my meaning, because then I get to make it myself. And then I get to look around and say, what I wanted it to be is not what it is. And that creates a cognitive dissonance, it creates anxiety, it creates all this stress that just deteriorates my physical and mental health. So the proper question is, what is life demanding of me? And that's not hard to answer.
I mean, if you kind of take the little microcosmic example of a life lived well is one where you maintain happiness, joyfulness. I think the best way to sustain that feeling is to know that you're making a difference. You make a difference by weathering whatever lot that life, like that question, weathering whatever lot life has given you to the best of your ability. But just like Frankl's manuscript, drove him, which on a deeper level was a desire to help people. Yeah. His ideal that got him through was, I'm going to use this experience, I'm going to weather it well, and then I'm going to teach people with it.
So, in that moment, during that trip, knowing what I know, instead of looking in the past, what is life demanding of me now? And that wasn't hard to find. I was playing the piano, and all of a sudden, people were loving it. So, we could probably put this thing to use, actual use, on our way to pick up Jacob, my brother. He plays the piano. We found a free piano online, threw it on the trailer, and I called up my brother, and I was like, Jacob, you want to go make a ton of people's day? And I was getting emotional in the trailer, just watching it, him playing, just with everything that's going on health-wise and stuff, to see that amount of joy in him that I hadn't seen in a long time was so incredible. And to think that I was able to cause some of that joy. It was But that's all it is now, is a memory. It's okay to look fondly on good memories, but I'm not going to sit here and wish that I could just live in that moment. I learned something, and now I want to take that discovery and apply it to every day of my life. That in every single moment, every single day, I can be an effect for joy.
Oh my God.